Good morning. Okay, so I'm at work, but um, last night I had a conversation with one of my friends, and I was telling her that, like I want to start a podcast. I've been thinking about it, and I wanted to start like when we move. And she was like, "Don't start when you move, do it now. Even if you just start off like just recording videos of you talking, or not even like a face-to-face like me on camera, but just like a video of me talking, like just start like that. Don't like don't keep putting it off, basically." So shout out to my friend for giving me that wonderful information, well, advice. She gave me some information too. But anyway, so I wanted to make a podcast, start a podcast, because I don't feel like mental health is talked about enough or taken seriously. And I don't even think I really took mental health seriously, because I know that I've been anxious literally my whole life since I've been a kid. And I've always had it under control. Like, I know when I start feeling anxious, like the steps to take and what to do to kind of bring myself back down, to just kind of breathe and like, you're fine, whatever. Up until April, I had a panic attack. And I don't know if anybody, well, I'm pretty sure people's had panic attacks before, but that was new to me. Usually, I get anxious, my heart beating a little fast, and I'm just like kind of all over the place. And then I just breathe, and then I feel like I'm okay, and then I go back to doing what I was doing. But to have a full-blown panic attack while I was driving, it was terrible. I literally was driving down Burnet Road leaving CVS, and I started to feel like my chest felt like hot. Like it felt like the inside of my chest was on fire. I never had heartburn before, so I didn't even think like, oh, maybe I got heartburn. Like the inside of my chest was just, it felt like it was on fire just out of nowhere. So I'm touching my chest and I'm like, what is happening to me? So then that's when my fingers started to feel like tingly, and then it was my whole hand, and then it was my arm. So then I'm like full-blown panicking. So I pull over into Speedway on Burnet, and when I get out the car, my legs feel like they're numb. Like I feel like I'm standing on noodles, literally. So I'm in Speedway's parking lot, like freaking out. So this lady like stops and she helped me, and I'm like, can you just stay with me until I call my husband? I need him to come up here right now. So she like, yeah. She ended up calling the squad though. And she just stayed with me though and was like, just calm down, just breathe. But in a situation like that, it's hard to breathe. You feel like you can't breathe. Your chest is heavy, but it's also feeling tight, and like you literally feel like you're dying. I thought I was gonna die. I just said, God, please, I got kids. I'm not ready. It's not time for me to go. Like, I was really freaking out. So anyways, during that time, I went to the hospital. They told me, like, it sounds like you're having a panic attack. So April all through May, I'm in the hospital like every other day. Like anything I feel, I'm going to the hospital. So after going to the hospital like legit 20 times, this one doctor comes in and she's like, I'm gonna send you to a cardiologist because you're complaining about chest pain. I don't know what's going on. All your test results are fine. They love to tell you all your test results are fine. Everything looks good. I'm like, okay. So they send me to a cardiologist. I talk to the cardiologist and he tells me that panic attacks and anything to do with your heart, they kind of mirror the same symptoms. So that's why they say that panic attacks present themselves in the form of a heart attack, because they have the same symptoms. So when you get anxious and you feel your heart race and stuff like that, those are the same things that you would feel if you were having a heart attack. So whatever. So I go through that, and then I go to my regular doctor, and she prescribes me anxiety medicine, which a regular doctor, like, just your family doctor, they're going to give you what's I won't say what's popular, but they're going to give you what they're familiar with. So they gave me Zoloft. I started the Zoloft in hopes of, not having any more panic attacks and, just being better, because mind you, my wedding was in like I won't say a few days, because I started that medicine in the beginning of May and I got married on the 25th. So my wedding is slowly approaching and I'm freaking out. I'm crying. I won't say having thoughts of suicide, but definitely having those thoughts in your mind where it's like, I will be better off not being here than dealing with this, which I'm not suicidal. Like, I don't want to die. Like, I want to be here with my kids. I want to be here with my husband. I want to be here with my family. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I wanted. So, but for my mind to shift and go to that, like, I knew something was wrong, like, whatever. So, whatever. So I take this medicine. The side effects are terrible. Dry mouth, decreases your sex drive, decreases your appetite. It makes you dizzy. It messes with your stomach. You can't sleep. Like, it was a bunch of unnecessary stuff. Like, at this point, just give me the panic attack, because they literally last just for a couple minutes, but it feels like forever. Like, literally feels like you're going through that forever. So I'm taking that and I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to take this medicine on my wedding. Like, I don't want to be feeling like this. I'm not doing this. So I stopped taking it, and then I seen a psychiatrist, and of course they just give you all this medicine, and granted, for some people the medicine might work wonders, but it was not for me. So during this time I also dived into my word. I'm like, maybe God is trying to get my attention and tell me, like, you need to stop what you're doing. You need to focus on me, because you're doing too much. You're trying to do too much. You're trying to do too much on your own. So I'm like, okay. So I started reading my Bible. My mom got me a whole bunch of holy oil. When I say if you see me greasy, it's holy oil. Whenever I start to feel like I am defeated or I feel like I'm having an attack, I will say a Bible verse. I'm not taking no medicine. And I am not starting a podcast to discourage anybody from taking medication, but what works for some people, that's cool. It didn't work for me. And just because of the experience I had with that one, I don't want to try another one. So here I am, just anxious Annie. Always anxious, thinking of the dumbest cases, the dumbest scenarios. Like, is that even going to happen? I could be sitting on the couch like, what if a lion just busted through my door and attacked me? That's where my anxiety be having me. I'll be like nervous to let my kids go anywhere. I'll be like, what if they don't come home? Like, no, just stay here. Don't want to rob my kids of their childhood because of my anxious ways. But what I can say is that, just from personal experience, and of course I'm not a doctor, so do with this information what you will, but whenever I am anxious like that, I just think about past things, trauma that I went through, because I got enough trauma to pass out and give to a little bit to everybody on Facebook. All of my friends on Facebook, I can give y'all enough trauma of mine to last for a lifetime. And I think that I just suppressed it for so long that the older I get and the more I'm learning and different situations that I come across, it's just kind of coming out. And then I was asked what my triggers were, and I couldn't answer because I'm like, I don't know what my triggers are. I don't know what triggers me to, feel anxious or, be in a panic. So recently, as I mentioned, I had started that medicine, and one of the side effects was it kind of took away my appetite. So I couldn't eat. And when I did eat, I felt sick. So I was 240. I weighed 245. And I lost 20 pounds. About 25, because I'm 223 right now. So not quite 25, but whatever. I lost some weight. So people see me and they're like, oh my God, you're getting so skinny. Is everything okay? What's wrong? You good? No, are you good? Stop asking people about their weight. I feel like that is very disrespectful. You don't know what somebody is going through, and to just say, wow, you're just so skinny, or damn, you getting big, you done blew up. That is rude. You don't know how it makes people feel. So I said all that to say, I think yesterday I discovered that is a trigger for me, because I'll say in 2000 and I don't know, 2007, I'm not even trying to get specific, but in my 20s, so I've never just been big as hell, but in my 20s, I was in a relationship, and it was a very terrible, toxic, traumatic relationship. And later on down the line in my podcast, I will go into that. But and I'm gonna just be real, this podcast is about me. So if you can relate, you can relate. If you want to ask questions, you can ask questions. And then once I get to a point where, you know, like, I'm doing okay with my podcast, because, you know, you got to start somewhere. But once I get to that point, like, I will start asking people, like, you know, do you want to come on? Do you want to talk? Do you have stuff to say? And, like, just talk about it like that, because when you have a conversation with somebody, it's like therapy. I just told that to Nikki yesterday. Love me some Nikki Dots. But we sat and talked for like an hour or so, and I'm like, that was therapy. Thank you. I love you. Because it's hard to even talk to people, because you don't know their intentions. You don't know, like, are you about to go tell my business as soon as you leave here? Like, you don't know. So it's scary to, you know, kind of really trust to talk to people. But I've been a safe place for many people, and it's a bunch of stuff that people's told me that still to this day nobody know, because I don't do that, because I don't want nobody to do that to me. But anyway, so I was in a relationship, and I feel like I'm getting back down to my normal weight, because I've never been over 200 pounds, 190 at the most. But anyways, I had lost all this weight. I was stressed, I was depressed, I was homeless. I was chasing after love, probably love that I didn't get when I was smaller, that I should have been getting, but I did not get. I was chasing after that and somebody else that was not trying to give me the time of day for real. So I was very stressed out, and there was so many things that happened in that relationship that was just, nobody should be going through that at that age. But anyway, so I had lost so much weight. I was like, it was sickening. So when I hear people say, you're getting so skinny, is everything okay? What's wrong? I believe in my mind it takes me back to that place when I was so skinny and I was so small. Something was wrong, but I didn't have no help. Was somebody coming to my rescue? And not that I'm even asking for that, because I was an adult and I had these kids. And, you know, once you get to a certain age, like, you got to get up and do what you got to do for you. Ain't nobody coming to rescue you. Like, ain't no family coming, you know. So I wasn't even reaching out for no help, which maybe that was an accident on my part, because I still don't do that. I don't reach out to nobody when I'm going through nothing. I figure that shit out. So anyways, I just feel like when people mention my weight or ask me about that, that's where it takes me back to a place that I don't want to be, a place that I don't want to think about, a place that I don't want to remember. But I don't feel like I dealt with that traumatic event. I suppress it and I keep going. And then when something else traumatic happens, I add it on to that. I suppress it. I keep on going. So I feel like that was, you know, me discovering a trigger in mine. So yeah, I don't know. This is long as hell. That's like 15 minutes. But I had a lot of stuff to say, so I got a lot more stuff to say, but this will be an hour. And I don't want it to be an hour, and I'm at work. So I hope that everybody has a great day. I really didn't say much to reach anybody today, but this is just like the beginning, and I felt like I should get on and say something. Camille, I appreciate you for all the, all the advice and, just giving me the push I needed to do what I needed to do. So love me some Camille too. But, yeah, I got to get to work. But I don't even have a name for my podcast. I don't know, but I do know it's going to be about life. It's going to be about trauma. It's going to be about mental health. It's going to be about relationships. It's going to be about love. It's going to be about whatever we feel like talking about. Whatever comes to my mind, I'm going to talk about God. So that's just what it's going to be. I know it's a lot of people that's finding themselves spiritually and they don't really believe in God or Jesus Christ, but over here I do. So keep that to yourself. Or we can talk about it, but I don't be trying to argue with nobody about what I believe in, because I'm not arguing with you about what you believe in. So, let's just be cordial. You do what you do, I do what I do. But I believe in the Lord and I believe in Jesus Christ. So we're going to talk about it. But anyway, so okay, well, y'all have a great day. I need to get to work. I clocked in at 9. It's 9:48, and I'm running off at the mouth because I'm good at talking. So, but have a good day.